Hey guys, hello everyone. My name is Dennis. I'm from Belarus. I work in facade finishing. I do facade finishing with siding, metal siding, several Japanese panels, facade panels like Doke, Alta Profil, and various others. Today we're starting the installation of GrandLine metal siding. Today I'll show you what the siding itself looks like. Let's walk over, I'll show you. We've already finished the windows. There are 3 windows like this. The size is 180 millimeters. And we've installed this kind of finishing strip around the entire perimeter of the house. Next, the siding fits into this finishing strip. There's a tongue with a groove like this. We take the siding itself and we insert it into this finishing strip. What do we get? Many people ask, how do you install metal siding? From bottom to top or from top to bottom? I want to tell you that all the material is installed from bottom to top, regardless of whether some elements might leak or not. That's actually a flaw on the manufacturer's part. So what do we have here? There's a little tongue like this. We insert it into the finishing strip. The water runs down the siding more or less. That's it, and the water won't get into the finishing strip because there's also this wave. So that's basically how it's going to look. Now I'll show you how this is all going to happen more or less. And I didn't show you how to measure siding, metal siding. Take a look at how it all turns out. I'll show you now. Here, for example, is a corner. We calculated the corners so that the depth of the groove itself is about 30 millimeters. By standard, they're usually 20. But we calculated in advance so that the groove, for example, in the corners and slopes would be deeper, so you could insert a tape measure. Press it against the edge, then we measure the size up to this edge, plus or minus 2 or 3 millimeters. We remove it to make it easier to insert the panel. Then we insert it and adjust the distance so that, roughly speaking, the panel overlaps by at least 15 millimeters. That's how it turns out. So we adjust the distance. Now I'll show you roughly how it's going to look. You can use a tape measure with a magnet, insert it into the corner inside. It's inconvenient to do this alone, I'm just showing you roughly. Then measure to the edge of the corner, not to the inner groove, but to the edge of the corner. You can also cut the panels with a jigsaw or an angle grinder. We take our panel and insert it. You see we've inserted one edge of the panel. It's completely in the corner now. And here, to fit the panel in, the edge of the panel has come right up to the corner. So here, the panel has gone all the way into the corner. I'm trying to explain it clearly, and here, this is how it ended up to the edge of the H molding. That's what the dividing profile is called. Now, what do we need to do? We need to move the panel now. We tapped it a bit, moved it around a little so it would fit into the starter strip here. That's what the finishing strip is called. You also need to make sure the horizontal seams line up with the main wall. But there's also a margin of error with this siding. I'll tell you about it now. These waves themselves can be of different sizes. They have a flaw at the factory of 2 or 3 millimeters. The panels can be 2 or 3 millimeters higher or lower, and that's why it's very difficult to maintain these horizontal seams. There will still be some margin of error because one panel is smaller, another is bigger. That's how it is. Visually everything will still look nice, but I'm just telling you about the little flaws that exist. So we've installed this panel. Now I'll show you how it fits. You see, right? The panel has gone into the slot and into the corners. The main thing is to make the groove in the corners and slopes deeper so you can adjust the panel itself. That is, move it so the panel fits at an even distance. And here's what we have. Now let's take a level and see if it's straight or not. Let's see if our laser is accurate. It turns out we have a level. The panel is straight. And these horizontal seams basically will vary by about 2 or 3 millimeters. If the panel in the next row is higher, then there'll be a bit, one will be higher, one will be lower by a seam. Something like that. The dividing strips were installed like this. We discussed with the client how best to place them because there's no symmetry here. Alright, let's keep looking. Maybe I don't know how to explain things. Some people write, you don't know how to explain. Well, I'm not really a teacher. I'm just showing my work, how I do my work, that's all. Those who need it will understand. That's it. Let's start installing the siding. Also, don't forget, I don't recommend pressing the metal siding too hard, and I advise you to buy a metal frame, not a wooden one, but a metal one. I told the customer Volodya that metal siding would be better, but for some reason he chose wood. Wood also has the property of shifting a little. That's why over time it might warp a little. If you want it to last for a really long time, buy a metal profile. So here the perforation doesn't line up with the batten. We drilled it out and drove a self-tap and screw in here. Alright, let's continue. We take the panel and carefully insert it. We insert it. Move it once, twice, 3 times to make sure it fits into its slot. Let's check the seams. I've installed the second panel and I'll show you the same way now. It's hard to film alone. See, I've installed the panel. If these holes don't line up with the batten, take a drill, widen them, and screw in the self-tapping screw, but don't tighten it all the way. That's the trick you get. Let's take a look at another example of installing metal siding. Oh, and I want to remind you, you should always install the window slopes first, and then install the siding and all the panels afterward. First you do the base, that's the very first thing, and the soffit. Well, you can do the soffit later, but there are some nuances with fitting it, but it's better to do the soffit first so you can install it, you see, under the soffits. There's a G-strip there. It holds the soffit in place. Then the siding itself will be inserted into this G-strip. The siding, for example, is cut to size, and that edge goes right into the strip. There you go. So here's the strip, something like this. First the baseboard, the drip cap on the baseboard, then the windows, the soffit, the L trim or the bevel. Everything should be in order. Alright, I'll put it a little further away. Well, that's basically it. Let's start the installation. We turn on the turbine and begin the installation process. It's best to use the level every other panel if possible, because metal siding has some of its own nuances. And you can't pull it up to the desired height like you can with vinyl. We press it. You can do it this way or in different ways. That is, you can first screw it in all the way and then use the screwdriver to do just one section, and that's it. Also, we have this last wall left and the house is finished. We ran out of siding. He arrived. Let me fix my boots. The guy who brought the siding came, measured everything, calculated all the windows, and brought us these small pieces. But the pieces, that's all. It's better not to measure like that. It's better not to calculate the windows. That way you'll definitely have enough siding. That's why we left for a week to take care of our own business. The siding was delivered to the client and we arrived here at the site on August 21st. Well, actually on August 22nd, and in just one day, today, we're finishing all this up and heading to the next job in the Odinsovo district. We have a project in the Odinsovo district. I wanted to postpone it for later, but I thought it's a small project, so we'll finish it and then probably move on to another one. We'll have Cedral siding next. We'll be finishing a house with Cedral. So now we have a project in Odinsovo. The client started doing something there himself, but in the end he gave up and decided to call us. And I'd like to give you some advice. If you know you won't finish the job, it's better not to start at all, because redoing a project will always cost more, no matter what. It'll cost you twice as much. It's better to hire specialists who do this, or call me and we'll put you on our schedule, or you can hire someone else. And preferably, guys, if you like our work and how we do things, then contact us with the intention of hiring us for installation. That is so that we finish your house for you, because a lot of people write to us looking for the cheapest option and try to take advantage of that. They send us their drawings and ask us to calculate how much of everything is needed. I tell them an approximate amount and that's it. They disappear. You don't need to send us all sorts of drawings. If you're ready to finish your house, just call us. We'll discuss all the details with you, schedule you for installation, and that's it. Alright, let's get started. Moving on. I also wanted to show you something. Maybe it won't be visible. These little corners, the corners on the siding, it's better to cut them off so they don't get in the way. When we install the siding so they don't get in the way, and it makes it easier for the panel to go in, I inserted the panel. Well, here it's actually a little higher already. We take the level and check. The level shows it's even. Although the level also has a margin of error, and the laser has a margin of error too, that's why it happens 2 or 3 millimeters. Let's make a new hole. Second, that is, the hole should be wider than the screw itself so that the metal can expand. Metal doesn't expand as much as vinyl. But still, the hole should be bigger. Let's take the next panel, insert it. If you get a scratch somewhere, don't worry about it. Now we'll insert it. And shift it. Something like that. Clamp it. Release it. Take the drill bit. Here we have a hole. Line it up. Now I'll show you how we install the last panel under the window. On there. Yeah, it basically lines up as well. I'll pause for now so the memory doesn't run out. Here, the screws themselves are also faulty. They don't stay on the bit. Alright, next, how do you measure this last panel? We measure it the same way. Insert the tape measure here to the corner, measure up to the edge of the slope. Insert the tape measure into the corner. Measure up to the edge of the slope and up to our dividing profile. I showed how. That is up to this profile, and here the size. As you remember, we need to insert the tape measure and check what size we get up to the top of the panel. We get 60 millimeters, we subtract 10 millimeters, so we get 50 millimeters. Why do we subtract 10 millimeters? So that we can insert the panel here and then lower it. That is, it gets inserted upwards and then we lower it. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it in there. It's metal. Something like that. So guys, in construction, like we do, if we notice a mistake, we fix it. But it turns out that GrandLine produces these panels with defects, but they don't fix them. Although, let's say there are many people like, you messed up, it's all your fault. There are a lot of different kinds of defects. It depends on the manufacturer. And that's why many installers and workers, as they're called, it's not up to them. I watched the channel of Gleb Pianik. He hosts Maximum on NTV. In short, it turns out that they made him an object, the brigade. They covered the house with wooden paneling, and at the corners, they joined the corners, cutting the panels at the corners. And over time, gaps appeared there, and he blamed the brigade, saying that the brigade messed up. In reality, you shouldn't finish facades with wood at all, because over time, you'll still get gaps, all sorts of cracks, and then you'll end up blaming the brigade for all of it. I don't recommend it. It's better to just choose metal. Many people say it rattles. It won't rattle for you. If you insulate your house with 100 millimeters of overlapping insulation, you'll already have some soundproofing, and that's it. Go with metal siding or regular siding. Vox Nailite, GrandLine, or Döke. Of course, there are some manufacturers among them that I don't really recommend, but I won't talk about that for now. That's how it is. Quality installation also depends on quality materials. take, for example, insulation that's low quality, which arrives already torn up from the factory, all ripped. You start installing it, but it's already all torn and looks bad. I've been working in installation for a very long time with siding. We used to finish large buildings, meaning the facades of buildings. We worked with porcelain stoneware and glazing, meaning we installed glass on buildings. But then I gave that up and chose to work on private houses, meaning with siding. I chose to work on small projects. I don't like long-term projects. I prefer to finish a job, get paid, and everyone is happy. I also want to let everyone know that we always take an advance payment when we start. Basically, everything is described in the V-Contact group. For example, when we arrive at the site, we work in stages. For example, we finish one wall, get paid, finish the second wall, get paid. Or we do it like this. We finish half of the house, take an advance payment, and then at the end, when all the finishing work is done, the client pays us, and that's it. Many people just ask questions, and I'm trying to answer them for you right now. Also, when this video comes out on YouTube, from now on I'll leave a comment under each video, my own comment. For example, the comment will look like this. Hi everyone, friends, that's it. And you ask me questions under my comment, meaning you reply to my comment, and that's all. I will see all your questions. It will be easier for me to answer them. Instead of searching all over YouTube for your questions and answering them, it's inconvenient for me. There are a lot of you, but I'm just one person. I also have a second channel. It's called Denchik Life. I post short videos there. And they come out more often there than on the main channel. Short videos, photos. And I have all of that on V-Contact as well. So don't try. If you can't do it yourself, don't even try to start. Because for many clients it ends up costing them twice as much. Can you imagine we have to, for example, remove everything and redo it all over again? It's not like we're doing everything from scratch single-handedly. Now we'll show you how to set up the panel. Did you take the stepladder? I'll go get the stepladder now. Should I bring the stepladder or not? Okay, let's set up the left edge. You insert yours first, and then we'll shift it, and that's it, like this. We're inserting it now. 1 minute. that's way too much. Yeah. Now we're going to insert mine. Let's make another jump, inserting it. Honestly, working with metal isn't that easy. Alright, let's take our hook. We made a small hook like this so we can insert it now. Let's insert it first now. Inserting. Now let's move the panel as well. There, that's it. Okay, it got stuck here. Yeah, leave it for now. Later we'll pull the panel up like this and clip it in. We'll pull out this tab, our hook. So guys, there are also some things to keep in mind when installing siding. That's how our piece is in place. Just like that. We press it, we press it. We clamp it, we press it. We clamp it. You can see it even with the naked eye. One panel is higher, one is lower. And I don't recommend raising them because underneath where the panel joins with another panel, there will be a big gap, meaning there will be a crack. That's why installing on metal siding costs more. It costs more because it takes more work with it. So, what do we have here? We're drilling a hole. Alright guys, so we've reached the end. We're done. I mean, we've reached the finish line. We finished covering the building with metal siding. Those who follow our channel are up to date with all the events. What the house used to be like and what it has become. I always show you my work in general. guys, hello everyone. This is the Dennis Montage channel, and now we're going to listen to a video review about our work.
These guys, I'm the owner of the house. My name is Volodya. The guys who call themselves Dennis Montage are Denis and his brother Lesha. They finished my house. For that, I am very, very grateful to them. I highly recommend them to everyone. The guys do their work conscientiously and honestly. Guys, I can only say one thing. Use the services of these guys. They did a great job. I'm very happy. Thank you very, very much.
That's all, thank you.